I just want to give introduction about myself. So I hope all of you are aware of me. So my name is Ram Boyapati, and I am from Eclasses. So you can see our website and our mobile app. You can able to download. I hope all of you having already this. So this is our e-classes where we are providing these trainings on these different courses. So the main agenda why we were conducting this seminar for this Microsoft Fabric. So we are always here to introduce and to upgrade our students who are already traveling with us. So many people who are already learned and joined and worked in the Azure data engineering in many companies, and the people are working as a Power BI developers. So keep updating. So whenever there are new technologies are introduced, so we are the first people announcing and giving the overview and making upgrade of our students whenever new technology is coming to the market. So this is the time where you have to upgrade yourself with already if you are working the people. Our focus of this course is like whoever is already working as a SQL developers, okay, SQL server developers, or anybody working on the MSBI technology, or anybody working on the Microsoft Azure data engineering, like it's all about data factory developers, nothing but ADF developers, or data bricks, or any kind of Power BI report developers. So these people, so what is the next technology we need to upgrade when they're asking? Definitely that is Microsoft Fabric. So the people who are all already working on these technologies, definitely you guys has to update, upgrade into this technology that is Microsoft Fabric. So what exactly this Microsoft Fabric? So Microsoft Fabric is basically whatever the solution already we were developing and giving to the customers. So as a data engineer and a Power BI developer, what are all the things you are working in the projects? Generally, a Microsoft Azure data engineer, a Microsoft Azure data engineer, what he is working over here is like he's going to work mostly on the storage accounts and data lake and Azure SQL and Synapse data warehousing, correct? And also is working on the Synapse like a data factory, and he's working on the data bricks notebooks. Okay, these are all the things he's working along with the PySpark coding, and these are all about the data engineering point of view. But when you are coming to the reporting point of view, in the same project, the people working on the Power BI, correct? So either you are a Power BI developer, either you are a data engineer with the Microsoft Azure. Okay. So what the Microsoft recently they are doing, they are integrating all these things into one platform. So generally inside the Microsoft Azure, you are making all this as a separate services. You are making as a separate services, and you are implementing your project separately for each and every one. So now the Microsoft has introduced a new platform. In this platform is basically contains several things. The Microsoft Fabric is basically a SaaS platform. So SaaS means software as a service. So Microsoft is a SaaS platform. It is going to provide you the end-to-end analytical solution. So Microsoft Fabric is a SaaS based platform, means we are not going to do any kind of installations, any kind of maintenance. Everything is managed by Microsoft only. So it is providing end-to-end analytical solutions. So in any solutions, in any analytics, there are three different key aspects over here. One is about the storage point of view, another one is the data processing point of view, the next one is the reporting point of view. All these three in a single platform, they are going to keep it over here. So that is nothing but a Azure Fabric. So Azure Fabric contains several things over here. Azure Fabric contains several things over here. So what are all the things we are going to cover as a part of this Azure Fabric? So Azure Fabric contains, and they have introduced all in one place, that is one lake. What exactly this one lake over here? So this Microsoft Fabric wants to maintain all the data in one place. It's a centralized repository. They are introduced as a one lake. So this one lake is allows to store any kind of data. The one lake is used to store the data in a structured, unstructured, and semi-structured. Any kind of data you can able to keep it over here. So in this one lake, it is built on top of a data lake only. How you know data lake inside the Microsoft Azure, right? Similarly, we have this one lake as well. So inside this one lake, we are having any file system or tables you can able to store it over here. So this one lake is going to managing of all your services. What are all the services it is going to manage and deploying over here? So the services what it is managing is basically like a lake house and Synapse data warehousing and Synapse data engineering and Synapse data science and Power BI. So the and Synapse real-time analytics. So with the help of this Microsoft Fabric, what you can implement to the customer. So we can implement to the customer to store the data in the form of your files. You can use Lakehouse. And if you want to store your data in a RDBMS relational database system, like a data warehousing with the dimension tables, fact tables, your historical data, whatever the data, processed data, if you want to store for the ready and reporting, we can use the Synapse data warehousing. And you can use, if you want to provide any kind of uh, data factory, data processing in the sense like you can use data factory components, and we have a data flows also, correct? We can able to perform the data flows also by using a as a part of the data engineering. And coming to the data science, so inside the data science also we can enables you like to build and deploy in the machine learning models. Machine learning models also you can able to develop, like you can give some predictions. Okay, you can do some kind of regression techniques. So whatever the data scientist, the machine learning models, if you want to develop, we can use the Synapse data science. And Synapse real-time analytics means whatever the IoT machines or any kind of real-time data you can able to capture from the IoT machines, and that data like any kind of apps or like human interactions. So the real-time data, if you want to get it from the devices and doing any kind of analysis and reporting, you can able to use the Synapse real-time analytics. And Power BI is primarily for the designing of the reports and dashboards. Reports and dashboards we can able to design it over here. So lake house, like it is something like what you are using a storage account, right? Or a data lake in a data engineering. So it is moreover similar like lake house is whatever what purpose you are using a storage account and data lake in Azure data engineering, same purpose we can use this lake house. Synapse data warehousing you can able to use something similar like your dedicated SQL pool you have, right? So the same purpose you can able to use the Synapse data warehousing. Synapse data engineering is something to develop your pipelines by using a data factory and developing the data flows here. But this is not a data flow something in your data factory. So if you remember, there are some transformations you applied, right? So it's not about that kind. It is something a wrangling data flow. Wrangling data flow means it's a something power query. By using a power query editor, we can able to do all the transformations. So Synapse data science is the new one what we are going to discuss here, like how to take the data and how to train the data and how to you can able to give the predictions or whatever the model you can able to design it over here. So some kind of machine learning algorithms you can able to run without writing much coding over here. And the Synapse real-time analytics also you can able to do. Apart from this, we can able to write down some Spark, Apache Spark notebooks also. Okay? Apache Spark notebooks also we can able to write down here. Similar, it is something similar like your data bricks, whatever the notebooks we are writing. And you can able to schedule this by using a Spark job definitions. Okay, Spark job definitions we can define to run your notebooks whatever you have written. And in this lake house, we can discuss few more topics like a shortcuts and like SQL endpoints, okay, and visual queries. So these are all the new features has introduced with this one. So what I can say, this Microsoft Fabric is a upgraded version of the data engineering, Microsoft Azure data engineering. So nowadays the companies wants to the new projects going forward. Microsoft is suggesting to use this Microsoft Fabric instead of this Azure. Inside the Microsoft Azure, we have Synapse and Data Factory, Databricks. Instead of using the individual components, they are suggesting the customers please use the Microsoft Fabric to implement your end-to-end solution over here. So where you can see all these things. So do we need to log into Azure Fabric, Microsoft Azure? No. So this is a complete separate cloud solution Microsoft is operating along with the Power BI users. You can see I have signed up into this Microsoft Fabric. There we have a Power BI in the bottom. So here you can see there is a Power BI. If you want to develop Power BI report, you can develop by clicking on Power BI. If you want any kind of data factory related things, you can click on the data factory. So there is a data engineering. So when you are clicking on the data engineering, so what are all the things it is displaying here? Lake house for storing of the data, notebooks if you want to write down any kind of PySpark coding, Spark job definition if you want to schedule these notebooks, and data pipelines if you want to create a data factory pipelines and import notebooks. So these kind of things you can able to see as a part of the data engineering. Now coming to the data scientist, what you are going to do under the data scientist, so you have to define your model and you can do the experiments, writing some notebooks over here. Those things you can do as a data scientist. And data warehousing means you can able to create a relational database like a dimension tables, fact tables, and you can store the data inside this one, whatever the process data ready for reporting. And you can able to do the real-time analytics also over here. For the real-time analytics, if you want to perform, we are using here, it's a KQL database, it's a Custo database, okay, Custo SQL. So that is already available, and if you want to stream the live information also, you can able to stream. So in this course, what I'm going to discuss here, I'm going to covering of all this one lake lake house shortcuts, SQL endpoints, visual queries, and Synapse data warehousing, and data engineering, and data scientist, Power BI reports, and real-time analytics. So with the help of all these things, so this lake house is for storing of any kind of data from different systems. You can bring from the AWS, you can bring from the Microsoft Azure, you can bring from the on-premises, from anywhere, whatever the data you are pulling, first you need to keep into the lake house. So from the lake house, we are going to process the data into the data warehousing into your tables. With the help of the data factory or data flows or the Spark notebooks, we can use to bring the data and process and applying the transformations from the lake house to the Synapse. Let me try to make a see here, this is the architecture. Let's, for example, I have my data currently available inside the Microsoft Azure, or I have in AWS, or it is in my on-premises systems. Okay, whatever, wherever you have data, first we are going to pull that data into the Synapse lake house. Okay, first we are going to pull the data into the lake house. So from the lake house, we are going to again pull the data into the data warehousing. So while we are pulling the data from the lake house to Synapse data warehousing, what are all the tools we can use? Either you can use the data factory, or we can use the notebooks, or we can use the data flows, or yeah, these are all the ways, and there are several other ways also available. This is a lake house, and this is a data warehouse. And once the data is coming to the data warehouse, then you can able to design the Power BI reports by using a Power BI over here. By using Power BI, you can able to design the Power BI reports here. Now coming, so the data we can able to directly from the lake house, you can connect to Azure services, you can connect to AWS services, you connect to on-premises services as well. So apart from this flow, let's, for example, I want to do some kind of a data science. Whatever the data you have in the data lake, so you can able to run some experiments and algorithms, and you can do some kind of a data predictions you can able to do. That data you can directly use in the Power BI to design the reports. Or if you have a real-time analytics, I have a IoT machines, or I have some applications. So from that IoT machines, that data I want to pull by using a this real-time analytics. So that data you can able to get it from your IoT machines into this real-time analytics that you can use into Power BI. So this whole entire process we are going to do inside the Microsoft Fabric only. So going forward, Microsoft wants to make the complete business intelligence solution into the Microsoft Fabric only. End-to-end solution they're going to give it over here only. So if you see over here, so I have so first you need to create a workspaces. I have created one workspace. Under the workspace, I have one lake house created. See, simply LHD. So this is the workspace I have created. Under the workspace, you can see what are all the folders. Under the folders, you can see there is a files. Under the files, you have a data, and here you can able to create the tables. The tables also containing some data. And if you want to write down any, if you want to create a report with this data inside this lakehouse, directly you can click on new Power BI data set. Or if you want to write down a open notebooks to write down the PySpark code, you can write down. And if you want to write any kind of SQL queries, so simply you can open the SQL endpoints as well over here. Okay, so where you can open the SQL queries if you want to write down on this data. See, there is a SQL endpoints. You can able to write down the SQL queries over here, whatever the data available inside your lake house to display. And so apart from that, you have a data warehousing also can able to create. So how to create the data warehousing, where you can see that data warehousing also. Let me write down one simple query over here to display the data, and that queries you can write down if you are familiar with SQL server. If you are not familiar with SQL server, you can visually design the SQL queries also. See, there is an option, new visual query can be built. And so how to build the new SQL query, simply goes to this sales table. And also you can able to create a measures with the help of the DAX over here on this lake house itself. So generally measures we are creating on the Power BI side, right, on the Power BI desktop, but you can able to create some calculations on this one. And so this data whatever you have in the lake house, this data you can able to processing into the data warehousing over here. So where you can find out the data warehousing, simply you can goes to the workspace. Under the workspace already I have created a data warehouse. So where you can see that data warehouse is, uh, I think we haven't created the data warehouse. No problem. If you want to create any kind of notebooks, already I created one notebook here. So inside this notebook you can able to write down the whatever the languages if you want to write down here, and simply you can goes to the workspace again. So here you can see I have created a pipelines over here. Click on this data pipelines. So the pipelines also you can able to see it here. I haven't logged into the Microsoft Azure. It's like app.fabric.microsoft.com. So here only I have logged in over here. So this entire process, how to create the subscription to this fabric, all those things we are going to discuss it over here. Okay, so this course I'm going to design for the entire all these things we are going to cover here. In this course we are going to cover Power BI, data factory, data engineering, data science related things, data warehousing, real-time analytics. If you are learning this fabric, you will become a complete end-to-end business solution provider to the customers. So what I'm like the people, so coming next within 6 months, 1 year, Microsoft Fabric is the highly demanded tool in the market, no doubt at all. Okay, so there are huge number of positions will be opened for this Microsoft Fabric, and the people who are already trained and used this one, they have a very opportunities to get the job over here. So in this course content, if you want to see, we are going to start a new batch on this one in our website, in our mobile app you can able to download. So to download the mobile app, simply goes to this website eclasses.com. There you can see mobile app. Inside the mobile app you can able to understand how to download this mobile app. If you are a online like a Android phone, you can click on this one. If it is a Apple, you can click on this one, the organization code here. The complete guidance I have given in this video, how to enroll for the course, and you can see. So inside this you can goes to the store. There we have a fabric course I created. So under this fabric course you can able to see the course content completely, what we are going to cover inside this course over here. The content you can able to understand over here. Simply goes to the content part. What is the course content we are going to cover inside this one? So this is the course Microsoft Fabric content we are going to cover. It's a 2 month duration over here. So basic SQL is enough to perform this one. These are all the different kind of things we are going to cover in this course. Like it's like introduction to the Microsoft Fabric and Microsoft Fabric developer roles and responsibilities. What are all the tools and services inside we are using, like a lakehouse, shortcuts, SQL endpoints, data warehousing, factory, data flows, notebooks, Apache Spark, Spark job definitions, real-time analytics, data science, Power BI, data activators, and subscription, how to create lakehouse, in all the things we are going to cover it over here. This is our course content. So you can go to this course like August 1st 2023, 8 a.m. Microsoft Fabric course you can able to enroll. So companies are looking for the people. There is no resources in the market who lend, and we are the first person starting of this Microsoft Fabric training in all over the India. So you can go to the YouTube, you never find any video on this Microsoft Fabric, but we are going to start this August 1st 2023 and 8 a.m. We are happy to announce this. It's very good market going forward over here, because Microsoft entire market will be moved to this Microsoft Fabric only here. Okay, so the existing Azure data engineers, no need to worry about that. You have your own positions. Existing data engineers are the easy to upgrade to this one. Okay, if you are telling in an interview, I have idea and I did a POC and I worked some time on the Microsoft Fabric also. You have very high demand in the market. Okay, so that's what I'm requesting all of you. You can able to please enroll for this course also. You can learn this Microsoft Fabric. Okay, all right. So this is about from my end, and so do you guys have any questions? Then I will allow us to ask the questions now. So now you can raise your hand and you can ask the question. You can raise your hand. Raise it. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Nagaraju. Yeah, go ahead, Shiv Kumar. What is your question? Go ahead, Reddy Kallu.
Yeah, Ram. Yeah, this is Ramana.
Yeah, go.
Okay. Yeah, you were saying that the Microsoft Fabric is in the future development, or maybe all the companies that are using the Microsoft Fabric, right? But
Yes,
yeah, currently anyone using that Microsoft Fabric, maybe still it is there any company I mean, currently, or still maybe they're not using anything. Just maybe they're upgrading in the future, right?
yes. So now what's happening? The companies are doing their pilot projects on this fabric only because of lack of resources. So this is the first introduction, right? So many companies are doing some POCs on their projects, and they are looking for the resources who have idea and trained on this Microsoft Fabric, and they are taking hiring those people to showcase to the I mean, definitely they have to show some resources to the customers, right? So currently the projects are under development only. Yeah, go ahead, Ankamra. You can type your question in the chat also. So this course is for the people who already working on the Azure data engineers, or the people who wants to become a Azure data engineer also. So the eligibility for this course is nothing. If you have a basic idea about the SQL Server, then that's enough to learn this course. Yes, you can take it as a fresh course also. So I'll see basically one fundamental thing is in the IT industry, when there is a new technology is coming to the picture. So whoever is learning that course immediately, they have a lot of opportunities. So the Power BI developers, how it is going to help is, so nowadays the Power BI is very less priority, right? So you want to become just a Power BI developer, there is less weightage because of the saturation. If you have a complete solution of this data processing and data storage, this fabric, because Microsoft Power BI is integrated with this fabric, right? So if you are learning this complete solution, then you have very good market and a high weightage. So this either you can choose this fabric or you can choose data engineering. Any of one you can choose, no issues. You can type your question in the chat, guys. So the role of the data engineer is basically is going to storing of the business data and processing of the data and doing the reporting and giving a complete insights about their data to the customers. So a data engineer is going to completely working on the things what I told you, right? The processing and storing and analyzing and creating the reports, performing some data science activities, real-time analytics. This fabric is one platform where you can provide as a data engineer, you can work as a report developer, you can work as a data integrator, you can work as a data scientist, You can work as a dashboard developer. All the things you can do in one place. So Azure Synapse Analytics is a platform inside the Microsoft Azure that contains some pipelines and notebooks and SQL. But Fabric contains many things. Fabric contains Power BI. Fabric contains data science activities. Fabric contains real-time analytics. Fabric contains whatever you have in the Synapse, notebooks, pipelines, data warehousing, and Lakehouse, everything. Synapse Analytics is a small platform in the Microsoft Azure, contains only three things. But Microsoft Fabric contains many things. All a data engineer, data scientist, report developer, everything in one place. All right, guys. I hope I answered the questions. Anybody having any questions, you can ping on the chat also. We can connect and I will tell you. Okay. Thanks for joining this. We will meet in next seminar. Thank you.